I'm back. Welcome back. If you're new, I'm Shay. So I decided I wanted to do a little bit of makeup, and I just figured I'd kind of show you my routine. Okay, so what I'm going to show you is my very minimal makeup. Of course, my skin, it's not perfect. I have hyperpigmentation, but you know, I don't let that stop me from wearing minimal makeup. You know, a little foundation here, a little bit of powder, mascara. I'm good to go. As long as I have mascara and my brows done, I'm good. I don't even worry about concealer and all that. But I figure I'd just go ahead and show you things that I use for my minimal makeup look. You know, if a little hyperpigmentation shows through, it's fine. Again, my face has been like this for a very long time and it doesn't really bother me that much. So I've gotten used to wearing less. So for my foundation, I'm going to use the Fit Me Matte and Poreless. I think this is the normal to oily, and it's the shade 335, and it's the classic tan. Okay. Yeah, I'm not a makeup guru either. And if you see me again looking off to the side, as you guys know, I have a mirror on the side, and you might see stripes on my shirt too. The sun is directly coming through my window right now, so don't mind it. But I'm just gonna put a very little bit of this on my face, and I just like to use like one of these like fluffy brushes. Nothing specific. Yes, my brushes need to be clean. Don't worry about it. I don't wear makeup every single day. Literally, my face is like this every day. And like I said, my two main things, mascara, eyebrows, and I don't even fill my eyebrows in. I just, you know, brush them up and they're good to go. But yeah, I don't wear makeup every single day. Like I said, I've gotten used to my face with, you know, the acne scars and everything. There was a time where I would have to get up in the morning, and like if I was going to the grocery store, I had to get up and literally put a full face of makeup on because I just did not feel the best. But you know, as I got older, I've learned to appreciate my skin and my face and, you know, all its flaws, and you know, nothing I can really do about it. So I just kind of live with it until I can figure out something. But for now, I literally just put the tiniest little bit of foundation on my face. Again, this is my very minimal makeup look. And I feel like with a brush, you know, it keeps the product on my face and it's not picking up like a beauty blender would. So I just brush it through, I pat it in, all that good stuff. Usually if I'm going somewhere and I want to do makeup, I do this makeup look, but I will do it like, you know, a couple hours before it's time for me to go and just let it sit on my face, just because I like when my makeup has oxidized on my face and it just, you know, everything just kind of seeps into the skin and just kind of sits right. Okay, and that's it with that. Again, it's just very simple. You can still see pimples, you can still see hyperpigmentation. Again, that doesn't bother me. So done with that. Now we're going to move on to a little bit of under eye concealer. And if you hear any noise in the background, I'm upstairs and people are downstairs, so ignore it. But what I'm going to use for my under eye is the Maybelline the Instant Age Rewind Eraser. And this is in this shade. Does it have a shade? I think it's 146.5. So it's somewhat, you know, it's kind of like my shade, I guess I would say. It just has more of a, it just has more of like an orange undertone. I don't really know what my undertone is or what I should be using, but like right now, I guess me sitting in the sun, it kind of looks, I don't know, kind of looks like my shade. And I just kind of put this, you know, I just place it just to get something. Again, nothing too crazy. And I'm just gonna take a little beauty sponge and I'm just going to take a beauty sponge. Needs to be clean. Again, don't worry about it. But I'm just gonna take this and I'm just going to blend it in. I'm just gonna start with all the other areas first. Okay, so to kind of set everything in, I am going to, at least for the eyes, I'm going to start with, I'm going to use the Wet n Wild. It's their Photo Focus Translucent Powder. And I will mix this with my L'Oreal Infallible, the 24 Fresh Wear. It's the powder, or it's the foundation in a powder, but I like to use it under my eyes too, just to kind of set everything. So what I'm going to actually do is I'm going to use a beauty blender and I'm actually going to mix the two components together, and I'm just going to kind of see how that works. We're going to try it out and see what we get. So let me see, what should I do first? I'm going to do a little bit of the white, or the translucent, and I'm gonna just pat it on the back of my hand just to get any like excess off. And I'm gonna do the same with the Infallible, and then I'm just gonna go in and I'm just gonna press in under my eye. And it just kind of concealed that under eye. It's not as glowy as it was earlier, but it's going to set all that makeup underneath. So I'm going to do the same thing to the other eye, and I'm just going to pat off the excess onto the back of my hand, kind of mixing the two products together. And then I'm just going to go in and I'm just going to pat. Not really swipe, I'm just going to pat it right on in under my eye. And I'm just focusing on the under eye right now. A little bit on the nose on the sides. Okay, I'm just gonna pull it down a little, but that works. That's giving me sort of a, I don't even know, can you guys even see me? I know it's like kind of shadowy in some parts, but if you can see it, you know, it's kind of concealed. It's not as shiny as it was earlier. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take this brush here, and it's a little bit flatter than like the other one was that I used. It had more of like a curve to it. This one's flat though, and this is what I use to set my face with powder and whatnot. So I'm gonna kind of do the same thing I did for the under eyes. Take a little bit of the translucent and take a little bit of the powder foundation. And I'm just gonna pat this off just to get any of the excess off. And you know, I'm just gonna go through and swipe it on through anywhere that looks a little shiny. Again, my face doesn't have to be matte or anything. I do like a little glow to my face, but you know, just to set the foundation. We don't want anything to transfer over onto anything. So I think we're good with this. Everything looks pretty set to me. Alrighty, so what I'm gonna do now is, my lids are kind of set. I do like a little, you know, brown to my lid. So I'm just gonna take a little eyeshadow brush, nothing special. And I'm gonna take this palette. I don't know what the name, I think it's the LA Colors. It's the LA Colors palette. It looks like this. The name has rubbed off a little bit, but you can see that there are some yellows, there's some golds. Let me actually open it up so you can actually see. There's some yellows, there's gold shimmers, there's browns, and all that good stuff. I'm going to use this color here, and I'm just going to go over my entire lid with this color. Okay, just very simple look. Again, I am a very natural-esque girl, so you know, I like my stuff to look kind of effortless, kind of just seamless, not really there. So that's fine with me. And if I can get it where I'm not in the, it just kind of gives off a nice little brown to the eye, and it can also act as almost like a setting powder. Moving on, we're going to do a little bit of bronzer. I'm not the best with the bronzer, but I just like a little something on the cheeks. So I'm going to use this, it's the Black Radiance. This stuff is all rubbed out, but it's the Black Radiance bronzer. And this is in this shade. I honestly couldn't tell you. I think it's golden something, but it's their pressed powder. Yeah, I don't know, but we're gonna use this. And again, I'm just gonna use one of these brushes. It's more dense than the other ones were, and I'm just gonna use this, and I'm just gonna pounce it in like the hollows of my cheeks and just kind of on the apples of the cheeks, just to kind of give me some more dimension. I'm just gonna go up with it. Gonna go on the outer edges of my forehead and down a little, and it doesn't really come up as like a really dark contour bronzer shade on me, which is fine. It will come up, you know, as something, and I like to go on the chin area as well. What I'll do, and I do like to kind of brush on the nose a little bit as well, and it just kind of gives it a cute little bronzy. I do like it to sit more like on the apples of my cheek more. So we're gonna do that, and then I'm gonna take another one of the Black Radiance pressed powder, and this one is in Warm Hazelnut. And with this one, I'm gonna just faintly go over just like inside the hollows there. As far as right now, I'm done with all of my powder products. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna give my face another spritz with my facial mist. And this is almost gonna be like my setting spray. So we have a nice little base going right now. So next what we're going to do are the lashes and the brows, my favorite part. Okay, so when it comes to my brows and lashes, I used to wear falsies and I used to wear lash extensions. I used to do my own lash extensions, and you know, those lash extensions, they ripped out a lot of lashes, a lot. But over the past year and a half, I stopped wearing lash extensions and I just let my own lashes grow back. So I'm very proud of my lashes. This is them without any mascara on right now, but they've grown back a lot, so very proud moment for me. And then my brows, they are natural. I've never had them microbladed. I've never had them, I mean, if I tinted them, I tinted them myself, and I just use like a that Beijing, that powder dye. I mean, that literally lasts like a week or so, a couple weeks. You know, once you keep washing your face, that stuff just washes out. But I haven't used it in a little while. It's been a minute since the last time I used it. I'm gonna say at least, I'm gonna say the end of 2021, I think, was the last time I actually did it. I was doing it for work during the summer, and I would just, like I said, my brows and my lashes are like my main two things that I love. So I was more focused on like my brows, making sure they were dark. I like a dark brow, like a full brow. So, but no, these are my natural lashes. They're natural color. I mean, of course, my natural color of my lashes, my natural eyebrows, and their natural color. But yeah, right now I'm just taking a Q-tip and I'm just taking off any like excess foundation or powders I may have around my eyebrows. But first I'm going to do my mascara, just because I feel like when I set my brows, and you know how you'd make that face when you put mascara on, I feel like they do something to my brows when I do that. So that's why I like to apply mascara first. So that's what I'm going to be doing, and I'm going to be looking in my mirror, of course, while I do it. And I'm using the LA Colors, the Biggie Lash. I like this mascara. I've been using it for a minute now, and it just has this kind of brush. But I'm just gonna use that to do my lashes. I will do a couple coats, so let's get into it. This is how they're looking so far. I do go back and clean up a little bit, but this is how they're looking so far with, you know, a couple passes through. I love them so much. But yeah, I will finish up the other eye and I will come back and show you the brows. Okay, so I'm back. My mascara is applied. I haven't gone back to clean up yet, but I'm going to let my mascara dry first. So next we're going to move into the brows. And I don't fill in my brows with, you know, a pencil or anything. I literally just leave them like they are. If I do go in with a pencil, I take a Wet n Wild. I think this was their eyeliner. Yeah, it's a black eyeliner. And you know, I'll take a, let me see, I just take a little angled brush. Get it out. Take a little angled brush like this. Yes, it needs to be cleaned, but it's okay. But I take a little thin angled brush like that, and you know, once I set my brows with the glue, I'll go back and like kind of maybe fill in any sparse areas with it. So for my glue, I'm going to use first is the NYX Professional Makeup, and this is the brow glue. And again, I just like to set my brows. Sometimes I'll just set my brows with this and just brush them up and just go. And again, I don't fill them in. So I am going to use a spoolie, just a plain spoolie, and I will brush up my, move my mirror over. I will brush up my brows a little bit. Then I'm gonna take this glue, and a lot of time I just run through them. I don't even, sorry if you hear a lot of traffic go by. I did open my window, but sometimes I just run the glue through like this, make sure the hairs are coated with it, and that's really it. I'm not really going into define with this brush. I'm just trying to apply the glue just to get a good hold. So that's it of what I do. So then what I will go back to do is I'll take the plain just spoolie, and I'll go back and then I'll just brush up how I want my brows. And I like a full looking brow, so I just kind of make sure I press them up enough to where they kind of give off, I don't know if you can even see, I just press up enough to where you can kind of, it's kind of full like that. And then of course I'll do the other side as well. Okay, and then when they kind of look somewhat right to me, I'm a perfectionist, so I get a little crazy about it. But what I'll do is I'm going to take my fingers and I'm just going to press, not even going to wipe anything off, and I'm just going to press my brows down just to set them how I brush them up. And then you can always go back in with a spoolie before they completely dry, and any hairs that might be in the wrong place, just kind of brush them into place before they completely set. And then the brows are done for the most part. I'm just gonna go back in, I'm just gonna press down, and those are the brows, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, so I still need to clean up the mascara I have on my lids. I might go in with a little bit of the eyeliner just to kind of add a little something, I guess, to the end. So let's see what I can do. Just like any little empty spaces, make it a little fuller in some areas. And then see, it just kind of added, just made it a little fuller just by doing a little bit of the eyeliner. So we're gonna do the other eyebrow as well. Okay, and they're a little darker, a little more noticeable. I do like a dark brow, okay? And if anything, if they're too dark, go back in with a Q-tip and just kind of wipe off what you can. But I'm kind of liking it so far.